Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's session of Meet the Global Leader. It's an Impact Talk series organized by School of Entrepreneurship Development. In that session, we discuss life lessons from our speaker on skills and knowledge development, how they develop skills, how they implement those skills in their activities. And as our audience, they're university going students. They're studying currently at universities right now in Bangladesh. So they get an idea about how what skills to develop, how those skills are implemented in professional sector, so they can get an idea about what skills to develop, what knowledge to develop. So this is about just message for the students who are our audience, that before graduation, develop skills, develop knowledge. Today we have invited Miss Paula. She's from Moldova, a Flex alumna, and currently the Flex Moldova alumni coordinator at the American Councils for International Education. She's passionate about youth leadership, international education, and community engagement. Through her involvement in the Flex program and various alumni initiatives, she has developed valuable skills in communication, leadership, public speaking, and cross-cultural collaboration, and so on. Today, she will share her journey as a student leader, the experiences that shaped her personal and professional growth, the skills she developed along the way, and how she applies those lessons in real life. Please join me in welcoming Miss Paula. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Rahman. Thank you so much for such a nice introduction. It feels really nice to be here today with you, and I feel honored to be able to share from my own experience, hoping to inspire students to learn more and develop their skills.
Thank you so much. So, as you know, our audience are university students. So, if you share about your student life and how was your academic journey, so they can understand you more.
Yes, of course. So once again, I'm Paula, and I have to mention that I'm actually just graduating from high school in Moldova. Even though I may uh, look like really young, I still have a rich background in leadership and working with young people, which I hope can be inspiring. The profile I had in high school was really strong in physics and mathematics, but I've been involved in the Flex program since participating as a participant. Then I did some volunteering during some programs aside, and now I'm working as the alumni coordinator.
That's great. So, as a student, like during your student years, what activities outside the classroom had biggest impact on you?
I believe that outside the classroom, the activities that influenced me the most were all the occasions when I had the chance to interact with other people and meet. Because every time you talk to someone new, you are learning new information, not only about them, but also about what we do aside. And you have a chance to learn and get some ideas of what else you can do. So it's really important to talk to as many people as you can because you never know what you can learn and from whom. This is how I actually found out about the Flex program and all the other opportunities that followed on.
Definitely, and this is very important. Like to have this mindset of learning, because these days, due to over uses of social medias, or stick to mobile screen for a longer time, like our focus is now very short. We are short tempered. We cannot focus on uh, learning lessons. So this is really important to have an objective, like to be involved apart from academic studies with the
To be
activities.
involved and also have critical thinking because you have to be able to choose what maybe would be best for you, like analyze from this whole multitude of activities that are available which one fits you better.
Absolutely. You have mentioned Flex program. So if you share what motivated you to join in the program and what have you learned so far?
Well, it's actually funny because um, I was motivated to participate in the Flex program Upon another international experience I had before was an intercultural exchange in Switzerland, and I enjoyed so much talking with other young people from different countries. But after the exchange ended, I was eager to experience another type of this experience. I wanted something similar, and also during that exchanges when I found out about the Flex program, when the application season opened, and even though maybe you know that the application rate for Flex is really, really little and the chances to be accepted is not that high, I tried my best. I really wished to be accepted, and somehow it worked. And of course, I took the chance, and that's how I spent one academic year in the United States. And it's really one of the best decisions I could ever take.
Absolutely. Like for students, there are a lot of programs for students from different countries, exchange program, youth leadership program. So, like for students, if they are confined within their, local area, like within their country, they may miss those opportunities because there are not some, a lot of opportunities for students, international conferences they can explore, and it broadens their global mindset. So, you mentioned you were at Switzerland in a program.
Mm-hmm. It was an
So,
exchange before, yes.
exchange program. So, how was the experience being out of your comfort, go beyond your comfort zone, and what specifically you learned from this international experience?
Switzerland or the Flex one, or both?
I think both. You can cover both because it's the same.
Okay, well, Um, so in Switzerland, we went with a whole group with Moldovan teenagers. We were all together interacting with students from different countries. But I would say that the experience I got in Switzerland prepared me for the United States one. Because somehow in Switzerland, it was only a 2-week program. We had our Moldovan teachers, and it was my first time being away from home, apart from my parents. And it felt kind of challenging in the beginning because wow, now you're in a new country, a bit far from Moldova, but still, that's when I realized how much I enjoy this kind of experiences. That's when I found out about the Flex program and I was inspired to apply. So I believe it's really important for young people to understand that sometimes big things need to happen step by step, because now looking back I realize how the Switzerland program prepared me somehow, and it was a first step before my flex experience, before applying to it, being accepted, and having another huge experience away from home.
That's true, and at the same time, like there is a very important point here that you have mentioned, which is the foundation for your flex program that helped you is when you were in Switzerland. So that is once you, so there is actually like misconceptions among students that this kind of programs are, yeah, it's competitive, but thinking that they don't apply. They think, oh, I'm not fit for that. But if you don't apply, you cannot learn. So that is very
Exactly.
important. You start applying, and then you learn down the way, right? That okay, not maybe not from that program. You can go for to another program and keep applying, and definitely you will be selected in one of the programs that you have applied. That but keep applying. This mindset is important because,
True.
and once you get
True.
selected, you can like next program you apply, you'll be selected easily because you have already experienced one, then the chances are getting higher. So this is very important, like keep exploring and keep applying those programs before graduation. It will
And stay
help you.
positive. Even if you fail and not get accepted, it's not the end of the world. There are still a lot of opportunities, and the more you apply, the more experience you get, the more you learn how you actually have to do it right. This was truly my case, I would say, because after Switzerland, I found out about Flex. I really wanted to apply, but I knew, in my opinion, for someone to be selected for Flex, I was thinking, oh my God, they have to be amazing. I wasn't thinking I was prepared enough or maybe good enough to be, but I still tried, like, I really wished. And in my mind, I was thinking, but even if I do not get accepted, still have one more year to try, which perfectly fine. And maybe if Flex doesn't work, there are still other programs. So this would be a learning experience if not being accepted. So stay positive. Yes, it
Yeah,
may
and
hurt not being accepted,
effort,
but
if yeah, effort is important. Like that
yes,
you try, and you have tried, and you just maybe not made it, but next time definitely. Looking back, what has been the most memorable experience from your international exchange journey?
so I've had a lot of international experiences, even aside Flex and the United States exchange experience. But one that needs to be highlighted and emphasized is the Wallet Workshop, which stands for Youth Workshop for Young Leaders in English Teaching. And this is a 1 week workshop I spent in Washington, D.C. during my Flex year, during which I was the only person from Moldova, and I had the chance to spend a week in DC with another 30 students, where not we only learned how to teach English when we go back home, how to implement English teaching project in our home countries and bring a positive impact in our communities back home, but also I interacted with these wonderful people from whom I could learn, get inspired, and also keep these connections even to this day. One nice example that I have is a girl from Romania. So, for your information, Moldova and Romania are bordering countries. We share the same language culture. We met during this Wallet workshop in DC. And this year, this girl came to Chisinau, my city, and she was a speaker for one event that I organized. And it's really nice and inspiring when people get the chance to keep these connections and do something more even after your program is done, even years later. So this is something I would advise young people to do, not only create the connections when you have a chance to, but also maintain them and stay in touch because you never know what you can do later.
Wow, that's a very powerful message. Like in most cases, we are like, we go to the program, we participate, and then return. But one of the objectives of those programs are to create meaningful programs or projects as a
Yes,
peer.
the long term aspect of the programs, not only the 5 day or 10 day or how long it takes.
Absolutely, and definitely to find that. That's why it is so important. Like to always exploring through self learning. What is the objective? What I want to learn and what I want to
Mhm.
achieve. This is very important. Like this kind of mindset of learning and identifying the like objectives or benefits for self is very important. And like when you create meaningful networks, it goes a long way. So it's
They do.
different. So like we have heard about good experiences. So how what were the challenges during like your this exchange program, and how did, if there were any challenges, how did you overcome them?
Of course, there are challenges and hard moments because this is actually what makes this kind of experiences special. Because if everything would be fine, then they would not be maybe so meaningful or have such a powerful impact on your um, development. What I would say that I might have experienced is maybe had some expectations from home that were not the right things that I experienced when I got to the United States. And I think this might happen to more students, like they set some expectations in advance and they did not align with what they experience later on. But what I would say I learned is always be open minded. Even if something doesn't work the way you expected or want to, try to change the perspective. Even when you take a picture, if the picture doesn't look good on your camera, you change the angle, you change the light, you are trying to do something, you take some action so the picture looks good in the end. So this principle you can always apply to life. If something is not perfect, then maybe try to change the way you think, maybe how you talk to people, what maybe ask more questions, be flexible, adjust. The circumstances you are in right now, they might change, they might not. This is important for you to change how you approach them, because life is like a mirror. It reflects the way you think and how you act towards things, the way you approach your tasks, and until the way you talk to people.
Yep, life is not a battle process. So there will be challenges, like always solution centric mindset is important. That every problem has a solution on this earth. So whenever there is a challenges, there is a solution or there are
Yes.
solutions. So this solution solve centric mindset is very important. So like what you do as a Flex alumni coordinator for Moldova.
What do I do? Oh my God, I do a lot of things as a Flex Alumni Coordinator. I said it before, I'll say it again. When you say Flex Alumni Coordinator, maybe it sounds more like a position, but it involves a lot of different positions in one single person. Because I have to work with a database, I have to organize events, I have to talk to the team of city representatives, I have to do tasks quickly. So it's a lot of tasks what usually maybe different people do. So this is why I'm grateful and appreciate being in this position, because it tests me. Sometimes it's challenging, of course, but that's the beauty of a job, because I get not only the experience, but I'm also learning myself while doing it. I tend to believe that I myself developed a lot throughout this year, and I'm really happy that I had this chance.
Great. So like if you have to select three key skills
Mhm.
from whatever you have learned so far through your experiences, work, through your exchange programs, what are those three skills you will share?
That's a really good question because we live in a world where everybody promotes skills. You should develop your skills. You need to learn that and that. But of course, everybody should select their own skills where they want to improve themselves. But when it comes to me, I believe persistence is really important because um, everyone has different goals. They aspire to achieve different kind of things, but it doesn't always work from the first time. Sometimes it's just maybe what program didn't work out, maybe you failed, but it's really important to know what you want to achieve and keep working. If the way you do it now doesn't work, change your mindset, change your approach, but stay, believe in what you want, and if you'll work and you'll put all the necessary effort, you'll achieve it. So staying persistent, and maybe it sounds cliche to say not give up, but you should really believe, and earlier or later you'll see results. The second skill I would say is also being flexible, because even, and I learned this from project planning and organizing events, when working with people, everybody has different plans. You need someone, they might not be available. Some things might change when it comes to weather, planning. Uh, so you have to be flexible and know how to quickly come up with a new plan, a new strategy. So don't waste too much time being worried that something didn't work out. Instead, invest that time in thinking how you can quickly find a solution. So flexibility, I would say, is more like the definition of being able to quickly adjust to the new situation you are put into. So quickly adjust. And the third one would be, of course, I I developed a lot my communication skills because, as I mentioned before, I'm working a lot with people. And when you are working with people, not only you have to be empathetic and resonate with them, but you have to make your message well understood, because you cannot get help from someone if they don't understand what do you need from them. Like, you have to know how to express it, of course, in a polite and nice way, because communication, it goes all the way from requesting something until showing appreciate gratefulness for the help you received. So it's a whole process. So I would say that these are the three main skills I got, and I would encourage someone to develop: persistence, flexibility, and good communication skills.
Absolutely. And I would like to share uh, this communication skills, like regarding this communication skill, the mindset of students said, it's not about written and oral communication that we communicate and understand, that's good, but in professional world you have to make sure, this communication can like change the economy of a country. It can
Yes,
change the lifestyle, it can change the community, so it has so many power, this one skill. So the more you develop these skills, that individual skill, it will be it will help you in so many ways. So I would suggest, based on referencing your like response, that you should really focus on communication skills, art of storytelling. It will take you a long way. So it's a very powerful skill. So to be a future leader, a global leader, young people should develop this global mindset. So without being engaged with different cross-cultural people, it is difficult. So according to what role does cultural exchange play in developing future leaders, according to you?
I think this type of cultural experience play a crucial role in developing the profile of a future leader, because when you get little by little the chance to interact with people from different countries, you get the perspective of how big this world is and how much more there is still to learn beside the knowledge you have from your family, your little circle of friends, your school community. It makes you curious and eager to learn more. And I believe that being curious and eager to learn is really important for a leader. Learning should never stop. And this comes from curiosity, and this is how I observed in myself. Like, the more I was talking to people from different countries and learning from what they say, what they do, how they do it, I got more and more inspired to learn, because it's not only about the knowledge they share, but it's also their experience, what they share about their country, and you get the perspective of how things are done in different places. It might be the same project, but adjusted to a different community, different situations, and it also develops your critical thinking. You analyze, you compare, and that's really important for someone who wants to lead one day, because you have to be able to analyze and have a good picture of the whole background and image.
Yeah, and have this global network really supports in so many different ways. This kind of network, or like millions or more. So global network is very important, and also like we discuss in general what to develop, how to develop skills, knowledge. But if you share your suggestion regarding how should they start, say for example I'm an audience,
Mhm.
like listening to this webinar, and I say, oh yeah, I have to be global, have to I have to start applying for exchange programs. So how, like next day they just, oh, it's a lot of tasks, I will do it tomorrow. But there is no tomorrow actually in general in our life, because tomorrow never comes. So what do you suggest? How should they start planning as a student? Like uh, planning in sense of start being associated themselves with volunteering activities, or looking for programs that are available globally. How they should start according to, in brief.
Okay, I will say, of course, from my experience, I know social media is a really tricky tool nowadays, because it can be useful or not according to how you are able to use it. Uh, when I was younger, I used to find out a lot about opportunities I can get involved in from social media, because I was watching what other people are posting. I was thinking it's interesting, it's cool. Wow, let me apply. This is how I started volunteering early on. And the more you interact with people, you can also find out from them. You just have to ask. You always have to ask. And another advice I can give is try to find websites for your country, for your community, where usually these type of opportunities are posted. Because, for example, for Moldova, there is a good website, especially for youth. There are Telegram channels. You have to find these platforms where opportunities are all usually gathered, and then start applying, or ask people at school, like teachers who may also have experience, or even follow your school website, because I'm sure there are always teachers who are constantly posting. We just neglect their posts.
Absolutely. Once you start, finding common interest sector, you'll start, exploring and finding those source of information. So you should start exploring and
Yes.
looking for those scopes and opportunities. So finally, what message would you like to share with the young people who want to create a positive impact through education and continuous learning?
So as an advice, I would really say that you have to be hardworking, put effort, be consistent, because even if you do not see results in the beginning, small efforts gather together one by one, and in the end you'll be able to see it. Interact with as many people as you can, because I only now realize that there are so many interesting people that I met along the way that maybe I didn't talk enough to. Like, I would have enjoyed to talk to them more and learn more about what they do and what they're interested, and also try to do what you like. Because when you are passionate about something, you'll be eager to put more effort into it, and without you even realizing, you'll have results. So work hard, stay persistent, and you never know where the opportunities can come from, and try to take advantage of every single one of them you can get the chance to.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much for, your brief lessons the lessons that you've shared briefly, key skills that you've shared, some of the experiences, global experiences that you have, what you do. So this is it. I mean, for students who are our audience, a very short message that apart from your academic studies, go explore what is available locally, what is available globally. That will develop your skills, develop your mindset, develop your knowledge, and as a whole, before graduation, support you, prepare for the future, what is coming after your graduation. And on behalf of School of Entrepreneurship Development, thank you, Ms. Paula, for your time, for sharing what have you learned so far and your suggestions for the youth students, how they can actually, it's like a guideline, how they can explore from your experience. And we wish you really best of luck from School of Entrepreneurship Development.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahman. It was really nice to have a chance to talk, and I hope I was useful to at least some of your audience.
Definitely, definitely. And keep in touch. We will explore more collaborations in near future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.